I love the stats that Luke is sending us right now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Bull, but I have to point out this one. Only one player right now has not picked up a frag grenade, and that is Bull. But
That's a call out.
In fairness, he didn't really get to pick up much of anything at the beginning of the last game.
You need that utility is important. You know what I'm saying? Luke is basically calling him out. Right? That's what that sounds like to me.
I didn't get a chance to talk about his previous stat, because while we were looking at it, he's just been feeding us all kinds of stuff. Whenever we were looking at about, 10 minutes ago, somewhere in that range, the E United was already at 4,470 team damage. Lord only knows where they're at now. I can't wait for the update on that one, because, man, they are dishing out the damage.
They are. And you know what? To you, Bull's credit, maybe picked up a bunch of smokes, you know? Maybe he has the other utility down. I'm not going to judge. I don't know what's going on that team.
Wait.
Wow, that's
SDK
actually...
pivot? Snickers pivot.
Huh.
What?
Interesting. Another stat for you, brought to you by Luke, of course, is that Lethal Association has taken over 2,000 damage from the zone. They were in that thing for quite a while. They came in a rotation. Actually, rotation wasn't bad though. They found a decent spot, so good on them. But again, just waiting to see what this first circle does, and it's a Corey circle. Okay,
It's a little bit.
look at E United though. I mean, they did exactly what. What I kind of thought they were going to do. Completely safe, and now they're in the circle, east side, uncontested. I mean, it's so textbook them, it's crazy, but it works so well, and they're so good at pulling it off. They know when they need to come in. They know when it's smart to kind of hold off and chill on rotations.
Come on.
As Soniqs is ripping up, team after team. Yeah, I really love what Relo has done as far as leveling up as an IGL and just being really talented fragger in of itself. But yeah, I like it. I like this team a lot. Yep, and I'm just curious what Soniqs is gonna do. I doubt they push back to try to get involved in this. They still need to push forward, but Soniqs are potentially a factor in this because they're still taking shots over at formation.
Snickers just doesn't even care, man. He sees that there's a fight going on and sees an opportunity. He knows the fact that the rest of the team is caught up, but that doesn't mean the fact that he should stop by any means. Gonna go ahead and throw a Molotov in there, and it looks like it connects. Oh, that could be disastrous for him. Looks back up this hillside as well, and Snickers just putting in a ton of work and providing relief for the members that are up on the hillside. They now only have to really contend with formation, who has the high ground above them.
Well, at the very least, formation was able to take control of the top part of this again, which is very important for them.
Oh, Snickers tries for it, but doesn't get it.
As I say, that's important. 2 members knocked of United still. Formation lost 2 as well, and man, this Prim fight has been really messy. Really messy on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of moving pieces right now. E United finally gets their members back up. Now can press up the hillside. Relo finds the angle into it. This is a lot more what E United was wanting to do. Eagle's going to be calming up. Spray's going to come out. Oh! Does manage to get it.
Wow.
Oh,
Almost got 3.
Almost with the hero play.
That is devastating, though, because that's it. there's no way he can get those members up. Now Civ trying to take this fight on his own. He's not going to get it knocked. Only 1 member of Spicy Fish left. It's going to be Icy Flex now in these warehouses on Corey. And we talked about it, Matt. Corey is... I mean, it can get really rough, too, especially with multiple teams, as we see on the north side of it. Orion, as well as this fight happening between BSO and Spicy Fish. And then Veritas taking shots from the south. And then, meanwhile, Soniqs is just completely wiped out. T8.
I mean, we haven't even had a chance to dive into anything that's going on with Corey right now, just because of everything that's been going on at Primorse. We should note the manor position with shoot to kill gas cans, that's still kind of brewing, doing its own thing over there. There's a little bit of that's like the houses that are still in place, so that might be a fight coming up soon. Looks like Nikos did manage to spot out Luke 12, and he's kind of the outside position for gas cans. Looks like he's also drawn Purdy Curdy's attention, and I like this little bit of a bait and switch, allowing the different members, I think it's going to be on the other side, that Waikikamuka to maybe find an angle to work with into it, but doesn't really have too much. Penta is still holding it back.
And I mean, they've been in that for so long. Luke is going to go down, though. That really just sucks for STK here. They wanted numbers, and unfortunately, they're going to go down to a 2-man now. And the duo of Nikos and Waikikamuka have, as you said, just been really annoying for STK. There's actually not It's not that bad. It's pretty bad, Matt. I'm definitely going to agree with you, but it's not as bad as it could be. There's at least some hills and ridges and defilade to be played here. As far as like the very east side, right under 303, there's nothing there. You're right. It's literally flat. But around where Soniqs and 300 is, there's some decent stuff to play.
Yeah, but the center itself is real
Center
rough
is fairly open for sure.
Well, you can see what's going on right now is a couple throwables being exchanged as it looks like D-Rich is committing into trying to res Batty Lol. Wild card on the other side of this. Throwable's going to come through and get some damage, but not enough to get a knock. This is going to keep 303 in a gate-kept position right now based off where Wildcard is, and it looks like Juke does have an idea. Ooh, don't walk into that nade. Does step away from it. So looks like both teams just trying to reset right now.
And we haven't actually seen a lot from Wildcard so far today. But I think this team is definitely really solid. I'm excited to see if they can maybe come out of this position and get themselves some points because, yeah, Wildcard definitely a really good team. Oh, and Kick trying to run. He was getting naded and mollied, so he had to make that move, but Shrimsy knows exactly where he is. He's locked on, and he's probably not going to let it go. Also, because of the fact that they know exactly where STK is. Soniqs can kind of hold this, but they really need to be careful for 300 because 300 could come backstab them.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces. It's Tiggleton that's trying to hold back the line of 300. They realize the fact that Firefight is broken out and now trying to just swarm down through this one. Tiggleton laying down, gets a spray into one, gets a spray into a second one. Now has to try to reposition. No, didn't have the ammo for it. But Shrimsy's going to come up, try to reinforce it. That is going to be a flush going on to Tiggleton. So Soniqs look like they want to try to go for a little bit of vengeance. Shrimsy's taking a lot of damage, has to step with just 2 life, trying to make it back over to the rock. But remember, Shoot to Kill is on the other side of this one. Mime having to make sure he keeps an eye on what's going on. H1 is also trying to make a little bit of its own moving positions. While this is happening, Wildcard says, screw it, we don't want to have anything to do with what's happening anymore, and are sending it to the same hillside right into a position to gatekeep both teams. Hold up on this. Yeah, I mean,
I like
try
this from Orion.
Try to flank around a little bit and see if you can find something here, but I mean, everything's kind of parted its ways around the center of the circle right now, and it's kind of like the Red Sea, and every team just wants nothing to do with what's going on in the center of it while it's trying to get into the firefights that have parted around it. Now, looks like Soniqs do find that an H-Win is going to continue to harass Wildcard for their desperate push into this position.
Yeah, and they're going to pay for that. Oh, the molly's going to hit. That means that Sank is on fire. This is very, very rough. T-Sock, are you going to survive?
That was close. Step into it. Mime spots it. Oh, T-Sock spins back around into it. Shrimsy moving in, has some reinforcements from it. H-Win gets the flush in, and now we've got a little bit of a calmer position as it's just Soniqs and Shoot to Kill, opposite parts of the circle, holding the entirety of the south, and everybody's to the north now.
Oh yeah, and they got to be careful here. They are on the edge on the south side. They could easily get shots on each other, so they are going to smoke. They should be able to get Huyn up at this point. And it looks like that split that I really like for Orion actually didn't work out that well. They had 2 in the Wizard Tower, 2 on the side of this hill. They had knocks, but I didn't see what happened, and so they are going to go down to a 2-man themselves as Veritas survives at the very least at 3 still on the top of Quarry. And this circle, now this circle is rough.
Oh, regardless, they're just sending it to Veritas's line.
Oh, they know they can't do that, though. Veritas still has the top of that hill. Mime kind of stuck.
Mafu finds the last member of Orion. He's clinging to life over here. You got to get it to this guy. He's surviving. Every single point that they can get, it's just bigger and bigger for them right now. See if maybe it's
3 kills and he's guaranteed a top 5 for them, Matt. That's huge. It's really, really nice.
D-Rich sending it over into this position. It looks like they're going to try to use the Wizard Tower onto it, but that reposition from D-Rich has allowed now Soniqs to play the other side of this, and everybody trying to negate the high ground vision that Veritas has by just slamming themselves into the cliff sides around it.
Yep. I mean, again, that's just because there's really not much to play. Penta, I'm very curious what he's going to do on the very south side of the circle. I think he might be able to hide somewhere, so he might be in. Show is going to find Mafu. That's going to be an insta for him, as there's only 4 teams left, and it now looks like Veritas actually has control much more so than they have before. They still have to get rid of 303 Jumbi, but at the very least, their position now is completely secured.
Yeah, like this, Veritas now moving down a little bit more, realizes that D-Rich is going to go ahead and get flushed out. Jumbi, I'm not even inside the safe zone yet, so you can see how just there's just nowhere to go. I mean, we got a couple of people that are just clinging to life, and hey, Penta spots that one out. So now down to just 3 is technically, really, we should say it's just down to 2 right now as the circle has moved very far away from Penta, and unless a firefight happens that he can use for cover, this is not good for him.
I'm not sure if he's going to get off this, but if he can find a safe spot, which it doesn't look like because Veritas also seems to want to get rid of him so they can just focus on the 3v3 fight. I mean, he could do a lot of damage, so this is the right play from both teams. Try to get rid of him. Maybe have one poking. He is going to make it to the Dacia.
I mean, he's just going to have to Matrix this the whole way.
Oh, that opening knock. Okay, this is big.
He had an idea, and that did not work for him. Danny looks like he's trying to go a little bit of his own. He's got Show with him. That means the fact that the high ground has now been surrendered. Penta putting in the work on the other side of this one is going to go on for H1, but he was the unofficial fourth member for Soniqs right now. Soniqs now know they have an opportunity coming into it. Light Show trying to make sure he gets use of that high ground, and it's going to be a quick reposition coming out from Trinzy. Feed that information over. Show has nowhere to go, and there we go. It is going to be Soniqs with 13 kills, picking up the win.
I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud nine, and this line is never on vacation.